I'm here to talk about The Shadow of Rome. Came out in 2005 for the PlayStation 2. The other is Ryse, Son of Rome. Came out last year for the Xbox One. Now both dabble a little bit in Roman history, but mainly it's all about the combat. Neither are perfect games, but I will tell you, Capcom's definitely one of the better looking games you could get. If you put it in and compare it to a lot of games from that era, it definitely stands out among many that arrived at that time. That's crazy because Ryse has the same thing. You could make the argument that it's the best looking game out there, right up there with Killzone. So for their respective systems, they both show off some nice things. But we're going to talk about the combat, because this is where Ryse, while it looks great, stumbles. But Shadow of Rome is still so polished. Shadow of Rome tried to split up the gameplay with its stealth missions. Those were not fun, they were not entertaining, but it's a good thing that they weren't in the game that much. But they also had something that Ryse did not. I'm talking about Chariot Battles. Both reward you for combos, getting specific kills. Both love it when you give the crowd recognition, get them excited, and then they show you love back. In Shadow, when you do some work and you hype up the crowd, they might throw you some food, some weapons, actually help you out. They appreciate you. Marriage Ties has that sword and shield the entire time. I don't care who you are, you can release all the DLC packs you want. With all these special co-op stages, you're going from different nice looking locales to the next, but it's still the same gameplay. And the thing, when you kill enemies, Shadow of Rome, you can take that weapon and use it. Another thing that Ryse disappointed me in, which I was looking forward to seeing, head decapitations. The reason being is because it is realistic. You got a huge guy like Marius Titus whipping his sword at people's necks. I'm telling you, man, this dude is a heavyweight. Heads are going to fly off. That's just plain and simple. That is realism. And in Shadow of Rome, they were able to make that happen. Cutting arms off, cutting people in half, cutting legs off, embarrassing folks. You are huge cats using big time weapons that needed to be in there. We're not sure if Ryse is going to make it for a sequel. That is still so far up in the air right now. We hear Crytek is in financial trouble. Maybe Microsoft could buy them, or hell, maybe Sony could buy them. But I don't want this to be the last thing I see from Ryse. Some type of spin-off, still set in the same era. However you guys want to play it, but I like this concept, and I certainly love the graphics. The violence that does happen looks pretty good, but it just, I think, was subjected to having to meet that launch window. The chariot battles, the weapons, true crowd reactions, sweet armor you could put on your man, enemies that were a true threat of all shapes and sizes. I mean, you were fighting tigers out there, and hopefully they can capture the realism that I needed. Take notes from Capcom.